Project Iceworm. In 1951, the U.S. and Denmark, both NATO members, signed the Defense of Greenland Agreement, allowing U.S. military bases on the island. Over the next decade, the American military built 3 air bases in Greenland: Narsarsuaq, Soundstrom, and Thule, which played a key role during the Cold War as a refueling point and strategic outpost. The construction of Camp Century, created 127 miles away from the Thule Air Base, was officially presented as a scientific research facility, but was secretly intended to house 600 nuclear missiles, dubbed Iceman missiles, in 2,500 miles of underground tunnels. In 1958, the U.S. Army began working on Project Iceworm. This initiative reflected the Cold War's culture of secrecy and covert operations, where military activities were often disguised as peaceful endeavors to avoid international scrutiny. It also demonstrated the Cold War-era drive to extend military power in as many regions as possible, especially nuclear power. However, in 1963, the nuclear reactor was deactivated due to structural instability. In 1964, Project Iceworm was deemed unfeasible and was quietly abandoned. Then in 1967, Camp Century was fully abandoned, left buried under the ice. By the end of 1960, Camp Century had included an area known as Main Street that was more than 1,100 feet long, 26 feet wide, and 30 feet tall, as well as multiple barracks facilities, a chapel, a base library, a complete gym, and even a movie theater. Deep holes were drilled into the ice cap to provide a fresh source of cold air, also to help manage melting. The PM-2A reactor, one of the first portable nuclear reactors, provided the power before it was decommissioned. At its peak, Camp Century housed over 200 soldiers. Both Camp Century and Project Iceworm were abandoned in 1967, when it emerged that the ice in Greenland was not stable enough for the structures to be viable in the long term. Today, the facility is unreachable, buried under a thick layer of ice. Project Iceworm remained a closely guarded secret until 1996, when the Danish Institute of International Affairs, DUPI, reported Camp Century's military ambitions. Denmark had never been informed of the U.S. plans to store nuclear weapons under Greenland. Since the Cold War, the U.S. has kept a presence at Thule Air Base, which continues to serve as a key defense outpost. Recently, President Trump has reiterated his past interest in acquiring Greenland, suggesting that the U.S. should consider purchasing the island. This proposal, though dismissed by Denmark, has shown once again that Greenland represents a strategic military asset for the U.S., especially with the increasing importance of Arctic shipping routes, mineral extraction, and natural resources. In recent years, climate change scientists have warned of severe consequences should the Greenland ice sheet melt enough to reveal Camp Century. During its operation, the facility's nuclear reactor produced over 47,000 gallons of radioactive waste. Although the reactor was removed, this waste remains buried under the ice to this day. Some scientists have predicted that the Camp Century site will start losing ice by 2090.